I'm John Beaudin from Rock History Music. You want to know what it's like living in Ukraine? Well, we talk to the lead singer of Leonid and Friends, Serge Tiagniryadno. He's coming up next. As most of you know, Leonid and Friends are a Russian band, but their lead singer, at least the guy who sings most of the songs lead, is Serge Tiagniryadno. We had a chat with Serge a few months ago when he released one of his albums. There'll be links in the description as well. You'll see them popping up during the interview, where you can help support him and his family. He's had to stay there while his wife is in Poland and his children are there as well. You'll find out why in a second. Well, there's probably many reasons why. We'll find out about the band, what's going through his mind, and if he's in danger. Here's Serge Tiagniryadno. It's been a while, man. A lot has happened since we last talked. Oh my God.
Yes.
This is crazy. By the way, where are you right now?
Well, I'm in Kyiv in my apartment right now. 1 second. Right in the center of everything that's going on here.
So you're hearing bombing at night?
Well, I'm hearing bombing not only at night, but right now, actually, a few minutes ago. Well, that's not bombing. That's the sound of our air defense system. So when they shelling out with missiles, our air defense systems working, and in most cases they are able to destroy missiles, but sometimes it happens that they are hitting target. Well, today probably 5 or 6 hours ago they destroyed the missile and it fell down on the Dnipro River. So
well, how are you getting food? Is it dangerous it must be dangerous. I've been following the news every day.
Well, in Kyiv, it's pretty okay. Well, today we have a curfew, so we not going on the streets. You have to have a permission for that because they are looking for saboteurs. You know, they are putting some people here like civilians, and they gathering around in some units and trying to destroy something or do something bad. But today we have a curfew all day, so I'm spending my time in my apartment. And well, it's pretty normal outside. Yesterday I was driving to my parents, and I've been in a shop so I could find groceries. So in Kyiv, pretty okay. Well, a lot of places are terrible, like Mariupol, probably heard. They completely almost destroyed everything, and they are not letting civilians to go out, so city is surrounded. Kharkiv is much worse than in Kyiv, well, about 100 buildings are destroyed in Kharkiv, and as well, in Kyiv we have only probably about 8 buildings destroyed so far. And the good thing that they are unable, their goal was to surround Kyiv and take it, capture it, but fortunately they are unable to do it. They do not have enough forces, and well, that's the good thing.
But have people come up to you and said, why don't you go to Poland? And how many people are still there, do you think, in Kyiv, for instance?
I moved my family. Well, actually not me. My wife is working for one of the biggest TV channels in Ukraine, Ukraine 24, and they evacuated the team to work from Poland because they are one of the main targets of the Russian army. And my kids were able to get in Poland with my wife, so I'm feeling much relieved about it. But well, I'm staying for various reasons. One of reasons, my father just had a surgery and he is not moving. So he cannot walk, actually almost cannot walk. So it's impossible to move him anywhere, and my mother is watching over him, and I need to be here because they will have no options at all. That's the first thing. The second thing that, well, a lot of women left Kyiv, that's true. But mostly the male population is here, are ready to fight and ready to stand against the army, not only military forces, but we have units of territory defense. So people just entering that, they having some training, they are getting weapons, and they are watching over the districts, not going to military, not going to army. And well, no one here is ready to surrender, to give the city to the enemy. So well, mostly people are ready to fight, and you know that in military and in these territory defense units, there's a big line. So if I will go there right now, probably I will wait for 10 or 15 days till they let me in, because there's too much people, and people who have experience in such things. So I don't have any, so probably I won't be so useful.
How many people in Kyiv do you think are, have you ever heard stats about how many people are still there? Just in Kyiv, for instance.
Well, I think that normal population of Kyiv is about 4.5 till 5 million people. I think that's probably now we have 1.5. I think so. Well, as I can say about my neighborhood, I live in apartments, in a building with a lot of apartments. Well, probably 30% of my neighbors are still here, because they cannot move anywhere because of various reasons.
Like you,
yes.
Yeah.
Well, like me, well, or someone is just having as well problems with health, and it's dangerous to move somewhere, because there is no safe place in Ukraine, actually, because a lot of people move to the western areas, but they are shelling with missiles also these areas, and there's too much people there, because only more than 3 million cross the border, but probably 10 million moved to the western cities, and there is you cannot rent apartment there right now, so it's pretty tough there too.
What was the thought for you and your family and your friends and your circle? Did you ever think Putin would do it? And a lot of people were saying, I think 70% of the people I talked to said, well, he'll never do it. What was the consensus with your circle?
Well, probably everyone was ready for that, because, it started 8 years ago, and actually war is going on for 8 years right now, but it was just in a small area of eastern regions. So we've been preparing for that, but you can never be ready to things like this, of course. So they made several times, they made such kind of situation when they said that this is a trainings and exercising, and they gathered a lot of troops all over the border, and then they just stopped it. It was a previous spring, the same situation, and 2 years ago as well. So we knew that it's possible, but we thought, okay, but probably there's a possibility that they will just stop their training and go away like it was a year ago, right? And what was the most unexpected, that they will attack from the territory of Belarus. They starting a lot of missiles from there, and a lot of fighting jets, which is very difficult for our army, because we almost surrounded, because we have very long border with Russia and with Belarus on the north, and they entering from Black Sea as well, which on the south. So it's pretty tough, but our military is doing well, and they doing whatever they can to stand. And actually, they have no advance. They just surrounded one city and destroyed few, but they didn't capture any.
Well, Zelensky was saying, I think, I don't know the time zones, but either yesterday or the day before, I think it was yesterday, he said, they were trying to get talks going. And he says that they break down. He says this could be the start of World War III. And that headline just spearheaded everywhere around the world. What do you think the West should be doing?
It's pretty difficult question. From the first days of war, we said that probably the Third World War is already begun, but no, not everyone admits it. But of course, we're asking for help. We're asking for closing our sky and such things. We are doing whatever we can, but my wife is in Poland and she knows what's going on there. And in Poland, people are really ready for being attacked. So they think that probably the war will be spread to Poland. And I know that such things are in Finland and in Lithuania, and Estonia. They are all prepared to the war. Well, of course, everybody hopes that it will stop at some point, that sanctions will do something. But as you can see, for 27 days, well, people there are suffering in Russia, so they already feeling all these sanctions, but nothing happens. So it's a very difficult question what to do, because it's obvious if one of the other countries will start attacking Russian troops, that will mean that the World War has just begun. But we still have a hope. It's very small hope, but we still hope that the surroundings of Putin, they will do something to stop, because they will all be responsible for that anyway. So that's not only just one person responsible. So all the militaries, all the government people who are doing this, our government already started the United Nations Court, and the process has started, and there is no way back for them. So situation is pretty terrible.
But how is the band reacting, Leonid? It's Leonid, right? I think you told me how to say it.
Well, actually, I don't know. From the first day of this war, I have no direct connection with the band. So, it's probably even illegal to have some connections. I know that situation for them is also tough, because they wanted to have a tour in US and all these things, and they in a situation when they cannot even state anything, because from yesterday all these social medias like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, they are like terrorist organizations in Russia. So there is law. Probably it will be very dangerous to state anything. So even if you are saying that you are against the war, which is not war in Russia, but special military operation, I understand that they also, as the whole country, have no options to act, actually. Well, I hope that band members are not supporting this war, but I have no information. So
I think there was, but let me interrupt you. I think there was a video that I saw maybe 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago, where I think lots been going on, but I'm pretty sure someone was holding a camera and they were all behind and they were saying that they supported you. I'm pretty sure. I'll send it to John if I find it. I'm pretty sure, but I wasn't even sure if you had a chance to see it, because
Yeah, probably I saw this video. Well, of course they support me because I'm a former member of a band, but probably they should think about themselves, because they are in a situation when probably there will be no concerts and activities in Russia for a long time, and they are unable to move anywhere from Russia because of many things, right? So I hope they have a plan, and well, if I were in their shoes, probably I would leave their country for other country. That would be probably the best decision. But
Is the entire band there except
know,
you, right? You're Ukrainian, and they're all in Russia,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And Andrew Zil, he's from Belarus, but for the past probably 6 years, he lives in Moscow. So yeah, the entire band is based in Moscow.
Okay, uh, how can people help right now?
Well, yes. Well, my friend Scott Bauer from Chicago, he's a friend of the band and my friend, personal friend. He managed this account when my family been able to move. We understood that if the situation will go wrong and I will not be able to support my family, probably will need some funds. And he made this account, and all my friends who listening to my music, thank you so much for doing that. And we already gathered a lot of money, and I hope that it will help my family to settle somewhere. As well, of course, I'm doing every day. I'm doing streams on my Facebook page where I talking about some latest news, and I'm always sharing the links where you can support, or if you want to support Ukrainian army or some volunteers or some charities. I always share links. And well, we had a lot of ideas, and right now I'm working on Ukrainian language lesson for my friends. So I already did one, everyone enjoyed. So I'm doing these lessons. I learned to speak English by learning the lyrics of the songs. So music actually made me know how to speak English, and I'm using this experience on people who want to know Ukrainian. I'm playing them a song, we learning the lyrics, learning what it means, and that's the way how they will learn Ukrainian. And a lot of people like that. So I'm doing this few times a week. It's also the way to support me and have some new experience. Of course, people who are buying my CDs and other merch from Jetpack are always welcome, and that helps a lot too. And one more thing that we are planning to do is right now I'm in my apartment. Well, I don't have access to my studio, unfortunately, because it's on the other bank of Dnipro River. But anyway, I'm fortunate because my son, also musician, and I occupied his room. Actually, I'm here right now. He has a home studio, and I'm using his equipment to produce something. Well, the equipment is not so useful like in my studio, but I can do something. And me and my musicians who are also in Ukraine, in Vinnytsia or somewhere in Kyiv, we are working on a lot of songs. Actually, right now I'm working on 2 songs, and probably tomorrow or in a few days you will be able to listen to it. And we are planning to make some vinyl recordings to promote some organization that's collecting money. And it will be probably next week. We will set everything up and we will start this thing too. So I'm doing a lot of things to be useful.
Yeah, good idea. Well, the thing is, I woke up this morning. I was thinking about you, and I thought, here's a guy. You've worked on your chops. It's a lot of work to get to where you're at. I mean, the fact that people can look and listen to you and not say, well, he's not Peter Cetera. Well, I don't hear a lot of that. I hear, man, that guy can sing. And in order for you to get into that room with those guys, that's not an overnight thing. Once you were a little boy, you had dreams. You got to this point. Like, this is what I'm thinking about when I woke up. I'm going, he gets in this band, he gets worldwide recognition, and then this shit happens. I'm going, what do you think of when you're laying your head at night? Because I can't imagine what you're going through. But what's in your mind when you're lying in bed at night?
Well, not much, because from the first day I was here in my apartment, and the first probably 10 days or 2 weeks was pretty tough, because it's very difficult to sleep when the explosions all over. And even if there's no explosion, they might be, and usually they shelling at night or closer to the morning. So you lying in your bed and thinking, okay, probably if I will sleep right now, there's a possibility that I won't wake up. So it was pretty challenging, and it wasn't easy to sleep at all. And of course, physically I was exhausted. But anyway, from the first day, we had no rest. So my wife, it was 5 o'clock in the morning, 24th of February, and we woke up because of explosions, and in 15 minutes she was in her car driving to her TV channel to make the broadcasting. And probably for 22 days she had no days off, no rest. It was continuously work. And me, I had some time to realize what's going on, but anyway, I had problems with my father. I had to go to the hospital looking for doctors, for medicines. It was a complete mess. So I had no rest. But when we came to apartment, each evening or each night, we thought, what more can we do to help the situation, with how to stop it? And we thought about it every minute. And of course, we understood that we need to inform the world, because I have a lot of people who follow me. My wife is also working on a TV channel, so it's the thing that we must do right now: inform people about what's going on, and try to involve as much audience as we can. So that was our main goal. Well, at some point, probably, I don't know, I can check which the day it was. My friend from Vinica, Roman Krill, he's from the band Serge Tiagniryadno, which I work with like a musical producer and as a musician in my studio. We recorded probably 4 or 5 albums so far. He was in Kharkiv, which is destroyed right now. And he escaped from there to Vinica, which is much safer. And he has also a home studio. And he said, look, I wrote a song. Can you do something in your home studio? I said, okay, let's try. And I've spent probably a night. It was a night time in my headphones, doing some production here. I played bass, guitar, drums, on the keyboards. And I realized that probably for 4 or 5 hours I've been in my headphones. I couldn't hear any explosions, any sirens, and I understood that probably that was the first time when I didn't thought about the war. I thought only about what I'm doing, and that was like a big relief because I didn't sleep that night, but I had some rest actually. And from that time, I understood that I should be doing something every day something creative, and it will help me to switch my mind, and it helped. It helped, and well, today actually I spent all the day because of curfew. I sit in my apartment, and all the day I did the music production. I played, I filmed myself. So, well, it's a very big help.
By the way, is there anything I didn't cover? Obviously, there's lots going on. Is there anything that I didn't cover that you'd like to talk about before I let you go?
Well, the main thing that we are all thinking about with other people that are also creative people all over the world who are in Ukraine or outside, that of course we all want this war to be stopped. So people will not die every day because it's really terrible, and well, it's very hard to accept everything that's going on. But the most important thing, well, of course, at some point will be over, and we'll try to build some peace. But the main thing we should think about is how to not let it happen ever again, to not let this situation be repeated at some point. Because, you know, things that are going on right now in Ukraine, it's very, very similar like the starting of the Second World War, which was started not from Russia, but from Germany. But, you know, the Soviet Union was an ally for Germany for the start of the war. And there's a lot of similar things are starting right now, and we know how they been going in the Second World War. So probably we still don't have a solution for that, and we should look for it. We feel support from all over the world, and it's real, and that well, actually, and US and Canada are helping a lot. Actually, good. Well, some of the European countries were still for probably 2 weeks or even more in. They've been freezed. They didn't know what to do because of the dependence of the oil and gas. But right now, almost all European countries are thinking the same, and it's good, but it's still dangerous because, you know, because of the nuclear weapon. The only thing that stops other countries to enter is the possibility that they will use the nuclear weapon. Then nobody's gonna win after that. So we must be still careful with this thing too.
Well, take care, man. Take care. Stay safe, please.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
I want to thank Serge Tiagniryadno of Leonid Friends. We don't know if he's still in the band. He doesn't even really know because they're in a precarious situation. If they come out to support him, there could be repercussions. They're all in Russia. He's in Ukraine. And of course, Russia is, as we all know, attacking Ukraine. His life is in danger every single day. If you want to help him, there are links in the description where you can do that. I want to thank Serge, and we hope he stays safe. I'm John Beaudin. This is Rock History Music.